Okay, welcome to the Yoho Traverse little tour video. So we will be coming from Lethbridge, making our way to Lake Louise, and then once we get there, we'll be heading over towards Field to drop off a couple vehicles. The red line here is indicating our traverse, so you can see over here is Bow Lake, and here is Field. So we'll be dropping some vehicles here, and then making our way back to the 93 and working our way up the Icefields Parkway, passing Hector Lake, and rounding the corner we'll find ourselves at Bow Lake and the Naughty Gym or Naughty Jaw Lodge, where we'll park our vehicles and start the tour. Jumping on our skis with packs, we'll cross the frozen Bow Lake and enter into this little canyon, which can be a little bit of a train trap during high avalanche risk, so that'll be something we need to keep in mind. But we'll work our way up into the canyon, and at the end of the canyon is this big giant glacial head wall where the walk to Icefield starts. We'll take a nice big right hand turn up this ramp, which can be a little bit of an avalanche hazard. Keeping that in mind, we'll make our way to the Bow Hut, staying there for the first night. Peaks around us of note are St. Nick right here, and Mount Rhonda off there. Mount Olive is also over here as well. Anyhow, we'll get onto the walk to Icefield, large expansive field, and we'll cross that the second day, heading towards the Mount Collie, or the Collie Glacier, which this ramp here leads up to the Collie Glacier, which is a heavily crevassed field, which has been marked as one of the cruxes of the trip to navigate through there. Hopefully there's ski tracks to follow, and hopefully we've got good conditions for visibility. Up on top of here will be the Collie Glacier. This is where we'll have the option to drop some packs and do a ski tour up to Mount Collie, drop the skis and potentially boot pack up to the top of Mount Collie, and then ski back down and continue on our way towards the Guy Hut. So this red line is just estimated route for us. Sorry here. I actually think that we will need to, you can see there's kind of two sections of this cliff, and of these cliffs, and I've marked here where a potential cliff is at. So I think at this point here we'll need to navigate around to the left. This is, to note, a new route to the Guy Hut, where the old route kind of went down here, down below the cliffs, then up. I'm guessing it's changed due to crevasses and things like that. But anyhow, like I said, we'll navigate around this first cliff you can see there, coming around to the left side of it, and then up on top of this ridge that is on the above the Guy Hut, and then drops down to this little col where the Guy Hut is located here just below Yoho Peak. Stay there for a night, and then we will need to make our way down this section here. There are some cliffs in there, so I think we need to zigzag and navigate through there as well. That'd be another little cruxy part of that day. But then once we're down here, this is the Des Poules Glacier, and we're going to jump into the center of that and work our way down to the glacial tongue of that glacier, and making our way towards Isolated Pass, which is just a small pass between Isolated Peak here on the right and Whaleback Mountain. You can see this is quite steep. We'll have to, if the avalanche hazard is too high, we'll need to go all the way around the Whaleback here and then up to the Stanley Mitchell Hut, which you can see is there. Ideally, we're going to go up and over this pass and then down the other side and make our way towards the hut. Again, if we have time allows, energy allows, we will have an option to do a ski tour for a peak, and that peak would be this one here, Mount MacArthur, which you can see is a nice gradual climb up to the top, probably a short boot pack in there, to the top of the peak for fantastic views into the Yoho Valley area, and then turning around for a beautiful descent back down the valley. Anyhow, we will stay at Stanley Mitchell Hut that night, And one of the big objectives, or main objectives really, if you want to bag a peak, the real hope is to be able to hit the present, which is right here above the Stanley Mitchell hut. So Saturday, that would be our chance to do that, weather and conditions permitting. We'd make our way up this valley, up onto this glacier, which I'm not sure what it's called, but it looks like that is a glacier, and ski right to the col, right here, and which we drop our skis and boot pack up to the president and the vice president on the left, again for some pretty outstanding views of the area around. Anyhow, then we'll stay our last night at the Stanley Mitchell hut and make our way out the next day. We'll have to start bright and early because it's about 23 kilometers out down the valley to the bottom of this valley, and then a big right hand turn and out towards Field, Yoho Valley, where our vehicles are parked. There's Field there, Mount Stephen across the way here, and that is our trip across the Wapta and Kali and the Pools glaciers. Thanks.